Hello and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a Forge server, specifically how to make a modded Forge server in Minecraft 1.16.3. We're going to be going over every single step of getting your modded Minecraft server set up. We're going to be doing everything from like downloading the correct files, to getting those files set up, to even setting it up to allow your friends to join your modded server if you would like. Now, I do want to mention right up front here that this is only meant for your friends, your family, people that you trust. The reason for that is it's hosted on your own computer and on your own internet connection, meaning anyone with this IP address can do things like DDoS you, and they can also figure out where you live down to your latitude and longitude coordinates. You'll actually be able to see that later on in the video. So again, this is only meant for your friends and family, and I mentioned it was hosted on your own computer. So because of that, you need to have a decent computer to be able to run this server. Now, my computer right now actually isn't good enough. We had some RAM go out on my system a few days ago rather, and because of that, I'm gonna have to be doing some weird jump cutting that I normally wouldn't do. I'll mention it when I'm doing it, but I'm gonna have to do some weird jump cutting. Shouldn't hurt the tutorial process, but normally when I'm starting servers and everything, I like to do all of that live. In this video, you're gonna notice now that I don't have 32 gigs of RAM, my computer can't really handle this and be able to record and do everything that I need to do at the same time. We're gonna remedy that problem, but I'm gonna get this tutorial out to you all, so we're gonna make the best of it. But I say all of that to say you're going to need a decent computer to be able to run a Forge server and play Minecraft at the exact same time. So that's something that you need to think about before you get this server set up. But what if you don't have a good computer? What if you just heard that and you're like, I'm done. I know I don't have a good enough computer. Well, wait. There is a solution. Also, if you want to have a public modded server, you can do that using this solution, and that solution is Apex Minecraft Hosting. You're using their own hardware, meaning you don't have to worry about RAM or processor or even hard drive space or anything. You don't have to worry about anything when it comes to hardware. Apex takes care of all of that. And then on top of that, they have incredible DDoS protection they'll be able to take advantage of. Yes, they DDoS protect all of their servers for you. You don't have to worry about it at all over there. And then last but not least, the best thing about Apex is the ease of use. One-click server setup with Apex Minecraft Hosting. You can check out Apex at the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex, and there you'll find 24/7 support. Like I said, one-click mod package setup, one-click Forge server setup, and then all you need to do is get that IP address, install Forge, and join right on in. Plus, if you do have any issues, they have that 24-hour support that I was talking about. You can literally go test that right now. It's absolutely incredible. But nevertheless, we actually love Apex so much that we host our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com on them. That's how much we trust them. We put our money where our mouth is and host our server on Apex. It's absolutely incredible. So go check out Apex, the first link down below, the breakdown.xyz/Apex, to start your very own Forge server in the quickest and easiest way possible without having to worry about things like hardware or, like DDoS protection or anything like that. You don't have to worry about it. It is good to go over at Apex. But what if you do have a good enough computer to run a Forge server? Or what if you just want a Forge server for you and your friends, right? So if you have a good enough computer and you want a Forge server for just you, your friends, basically people you would invite over to your house, then guess what? Let's go ahead and get it started. The first thing that you want to do is actually go to the second link down below, and that's going to take you here. This is our in-depth guide for Forge in 1.16.3. This tutorial will update by the time you're here. But nevertheless, once you're here, you want to scroll down and you'll see this green download Forge button. Click on that and it will take you off to Forge's official website, where you want to make sure MC1.16.3 is selected here. Now, as you can see, it says 1.15. That's definitely not correct. So what we want to do is go over to the left-hand side, click on the plus on 1.16, and then click on 1.16.3. Then it'll say MC1.16.3 here, and all we need to do is come under Download Latest and click on the Installer button. It will then go ahead and take us off to Add Focus, where stop! Don't click anything on this page whatsoever. Do not click a single thing on this page at all, other than the red skip button in the top right that will appear after 7 seconds. Just click the red skip button in the top right on this page. When you click on that, in the bottom left, Forge will appear. Right down here in the bottom left, Forge will appear, and it should say Forge-1.16.3, and it should end in .jar. If it does, you're good to keep it. Now, Mozilla Firefox, it'll pop up in the center of your screen. You're good to save it as long as Forge is in the title. If it's not, just cancel the download, get rid of it, and then click that red skip button in the top right, and Forge will download. Again, though, don't click anything on this page except that red skip button in the top right. Now we can go ahead and minimize our browser. And here on our desktop, we do have Forge right here. Now, if this isn't on your desktop, no worries. It's going to be found in your Downloads folder. To find that, click the little Windows icons in the top left of my screen, probably in the bottom left of your screen, but then that little Windows icon in the top or bottom left of your screen, and then go ahead and search for Downloads, right like so. And then find this Downloads file folder in Windows. Click on that, and you'll find Forge in here. Go ahead and drag it to your desktop just for ease of use. Nevertheless, once Forge is on our desktop, it should look something like this. It should have kind of like a Java logo, and if it doesn't, that's okay, but you might need to have an extra step here in a second if it doesn't. But let's go ahead and try to right-click on Forge, click on Open With, click on Java, and click OK. Now, if that works, and you have the mod system installer open, great. But if not, what do? Well, you're going to go to the description down below and you're going to go here. You're going to learn how to download and install Java for Minecraft mods, right? Obviously, modded server is like Minecraft mods times 10 in that regard. Like you're taking the next step with modded Minecraft, you're starting a server. So with that, come here, get this set up, and then you'll be good to go. Now, in some cases that won't work, or your Java logo will still look a bit funky, right? It'll still look weird. It won't look like a Java logo. And if that's the case, what you want to do is go here and run the jar fix. This is also linked in the description down below, the jar fix. It's a quick and easy 3-step process to getting the jar files on your computer to look correctly and work correctly. It's going to take all the jar files and link them back to Java. Once you've done that, though, you should finally be able to right-click on Forge, click on Open With, click on Java, and click OK. Now, for those of you that already had that happen, already worked, awesome, you're already here. Now let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. The first thing we want to do is actually install client. So click on Install Client and click OK. So I'm going to go through, download some things, do some stuff, make some things happen, and install Forge locally on your computer. That's something you and all your friends have to do, by the way. There is a link in the description down below to our Forge tutorial, the breakdown of xyz/Forge. Go there and send that to your friends because they'll need Forge as well to be able to join your server. But as you can see, successfully install client profile Forge, click OK, and it'll close out of that. Now, before we move forward, let's go ahead and right-click on our desktop, create a new folder. So we're going to right-click, create a new folder. You can title this whatever you want. I'm going to title it play.breakdowncraft.com because that is our own incredible Minecraft server. Green Protected Survival 1.16.3, Medieval Survival, Aquatic Survival, Factions, Skyblock. You'll love it. So come play with us. Play.breakdowncraft.com is the IP. I'll stop there, but it's amazing. Literally best server in the world. So go check it out. But nevertheless, whenever you've got that folder created, we can go ahead and again right-click on Forge, click on Open With, click on Java, and click OK. But this time, instead of clicking on Install Client, we want to click on Install Server. Now, this big red box is going to appear. So what you want to do is click on these 3 lines over here on the right-hand side. That's going to open up this. Then click on Desktop on the left-hand side. Find play.breakdowncraft.com or whatever folder you just created, and then click Open. Now, that red box should disappear, and you should be able to click OK. It's now going to go through and but download everything you need to set up a Forge server for Minecraft 1.16.3. So it's doing all that right now. As you can see, it's a decent amount of stuff that's happening, but it's going through, it's doing it all, it's doing it really fast, it's overwhelming, and then eventually it will finish. So I'm just going to do a quick jump cut until that's done. There we go. It now says successfully downloaded Minecraft server and installed 1.16.3-Forge. Awesome. You can click OK there. And now if you open up that folder you created, you'll see that there's quite a bit of stuff in here, right? There's some stuff that has now appeared in this folder, right? So nevertheless, in here you have the 1.16.3 JSON, you have the forge.jar, and then Minecraft server.jar. First off, let's go ahead and click on this forge.jar. And by the way, if this doesn't say .jar, just click on View up here, and then click on File Name Extensions. So now you see mine doesn't say .jar. If I click on View, click on File Name Extensions, .jar will appear. If I can actually click the button, there we go, .jar will appear. So now go ahead and right-click on Forge, click Rename, and then just type Forge Server, right like so. Forge Server, all one word, exactly like that, and hit Enter. Now we want to go ahead and right-click and create a new text document right here. So new text document. You can just leave it titled that. Open up that new text document, and now go to the description down below and find this. What is this? Well, this is the amount of RAM you want dedicated to your server. 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes, etc. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 gigabytes, right? A lot of Forge and modded servers need more than 2 gigabytes, but I'm running low on RAM on my computer. As I said, we had some RAM go bad. So I'm going to be doing the least amount here, which is 2 gigabytes. Now let's go ahead and come back over to our new text document after we've copied that from the description and pasted it in here. It should start with Java. Nothing should be before that. And it should end with pause. Nothing should be after that. And then we can go ahead and do File, Save As. And then you want to save this as a run.bat file. So make the file name run.bat. And then you want to do Save Type As, All Files. So file name is run.bat and Save Type As is All Files. And then click Save. And now close out a notepad here. And you'll have this new run.bat file. Double click on that and it will go ahead and try to start your first server. It's going to fail though. It's not going to work because we need to agree to the ULA. So it's going to then say press any key to continue. Go ahead and click that. And that means it's going to close out. The server didn't open, but that's what we expected. Now go ahead and double click on the ula.txt file. Go to this link and assuming you agree to the ULA, change EULA equals false to EULA equals true, TRUE, exactly like that. Then go ahead and do File, Save, and now double click on the run.bat file. When you do that, your server is going to start. Now, because of our RAM issue, I hope we're okay still, but I'm going to go ahead and do a quick jump cut until this server is up and running. I'm sorry about that. I would normally never do that, but it's just something we've got to do because of this RAM issue. Now, eventually your server will say done there. When it does, guess what? It's done. So this is all of the stuff it said. Quite a bit of stuff before finally coming down here and saying done. and for help type help. Right, so there's that. Your server is now up and running. Now, in theory, you can join your server at this point, but only you can. You will need to port forward for your friends to join, but I'm going to go ahead and quickly run through joining it yourself. Now, luckily, no matter what, you're going to need to get your IPv4 address, whether you just want to join the server locally yourself or whether you want to port forward. You're going to need that, so let's go ahead and get it. So to do that, we want to go ahead and click on the little Windows icons in the top left of my screen, probably in the bottom left of your screen, but click on that little Windows icon in the top or bottom left of your screen. Then go ahead and type in CMD. We'll then have command prompt here. Open that up, and then in command prompt, what you want to do is type ipconfig, ipconfig, exactly like that, and hit enter. Then we want to go ahead and open up a new notepad document here. And then in this, we want to copy over two numbers. The first being our IPv4 address, so IPv4, and in my case, that is 192.168.1.123. Yours is probably completely different from that, but that is okay. Then we want to go ahead and do our default gateway. So for me, default gateway. Now you may have two numbers for default gateway. If you have one that is numbers and letters, and then under that you have something that's just numbers, you want to get the one that's just numbers. It's going to be like a basically 4-number format. For example, 192.168.1.1 is what mine is. Yours may be different, but it should be a 4-number format. It shouldn't be numbers and letters. Once you've got those two numbers, we can go ahead and close out a command prompt, and then we can go ahead and open up Minecraft. But before you just jump into Minecraft, go ahead and open up the Minecraft launcher. You don't just want to go in here and, play on vanilla Minecraft. It's not going to work. You need to make sure you're selecting the Forge profile with 1.16.3-Forge right there. Then go ahead and click play, and it will go ahead and open up Minecraft. Let me do a quick jump cut. Once you're on the Minecraft main menu, just click on multiplayer, then click direct connect, and you want to copy your IPv4 address and paste it over here in the server address area. Then click join server, and in the background here you'll be able to see us join right on in. There it is, Nick King, that is my alt, and it is joining right on in to our modded server. We can op ourselves on this server, so we can type OP and then our username. So Nick King over here in the console, and boom, now I'm opt on the server and can do a bunch of different stuff with it. But yeah, the server is now up and running, and we can join it ourselves, but our friends can't join it. In order for our friends to be able to join our server, we need to port forward. So how do we do that? Well, let's go ahead and do it now. I'm going to go ahead and close out of Minecraft. Normally I wouldn't do that, but again, the RAM issue. And then we're going to go ahead and stop the server. Never just hit the X in the server. Always stop it this way by typing STOP in chat. No slash or anything, just STOP in chat over there in the command prompt. It's going to close everything down. It'll tell you press any key to continue. Click on that, and now your server is closed. Now, in order to port forward, the first step is pretty easy. Just open up your server.properties file here in Notepad. Just open it in Notepad. Select Notepad if you have to. I don't have to because I've done this 1,000 times before, but go ahead and open it with Notepad if you need to. And then scroll down to where it says server-IP equals. And then copy your IPv4 address from Notepad over into your server-IP equals in server.properties here. No spaces after that or before it, just server.properties equals is all one string. And then do file save, right like so. And you're done there. Now, let's go ahead and take our default gateway and copy that, open up our browser, create a brand new tab, and then in this brand new tab, what we want to do is go ahead and paste up here where you would normally type in the breakdown.xyz or youtube.com or google.com or breakdowncraft.com, whatever you wanted to enter up here where you would normally enter in, a website, go ahead and enter in that default gateway that we have over here. So in our case, 192.168.1.1, 192.168.1.1, and hit enter. It's then going to take you to a page that looks exactly the same or most likely completely different from what you see here. But what will look the same is this. There'll be some sort of a login box. Yours may not be on the right-hand side, could be on the left-hand side, could pop in from the top of the screen, could pop in from the bottom of the screen, but you'll have some sort of login box. What do you enter in here? Well, here is how to find your router's username and password. This is linked in the description down below, and it gives you 5 simple methods of finding your router's username and password. Most people find it by method 3 or 4. However, it is going to help you get your router's password no matter what, set up and working and running and all of that stuff. So go here, go through this little tutorial, come back, enter in that information into your router, and then log right on in, right like so. Now, once we've logged in here, we will be able to go ahead and port forward. Now, for you, it will most likely, again, look completely different from what it looks like for me. And that's okay, right? That's 100% okay. The only thing that we need to look at here, right, need to worry about, if you will, is that you can find port forwarding in your router. You can click literally over the entire router here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can click anywhere on your router And as long as you don't save anything, it is 100% safe to do that, right? So just don't save anything unless it's port forwarding. However, in the description down below, you do have this guide, which is our complete guide to port forwarding on all of the top routers that are out there today. No matter what router you're looking at, it's going to have a complete guide for port forwarding from TP-Link to Charter to Netgear to Verizon. Everything is in that tutorial, so go there, watch through this, and even if your specific router isn't in that tutorial, watch through it, because you're going to pick up all the different terms, all the different things that port forwarding could be called on your router. But nevertheless, once you've watched through that, come back to your router and let's port forward. I'm going to be giving you a few different terms along the way as well, so just listen up, let's do this, let's get through it. It's not that hard. It can just be overwhelming being in like a network interface like this for the first time. Nevertheless, once you're here, go ahead and click on secure. Once you're here, for me, it is in security. It is then in apps and gaming. So for you, it may be in security, it may be in advanced, it may be in advanced, it may be in apps and gaming right away. It might be in NAT gaming, NAT gaming. It might be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding. It could just be straight up in port forwarding. It could be in single port forwarding. It could be in the admin tab. I think in Netgear it is in admin, and then it is in the advanced tab, and then it is in port forwarding. So just look around your router, click around. For me, it is in security, then it is in apps and gaming, and then it is in single port forwarding. Now for me, I have to click add a new single port forward. You may just have a big list of empty boxes. If that's the case, just go with the first one on that list that is empty. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and add a new single port forward. Now for your name or ID, you're going to enter in Minecraft. Now for port 1, port 2, external port, internal port, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it says, as long as it says the word port. Put in 25565. Internal port, hey, there's that word port again. Nick said put in 25565 every time in the word port shows up. So there's port. Now for protocol, you want to either do TCP/UDP, UDP/TCP, or both, whichever one, as long as both are selected. If you can't for whatever reason select both, go ahead and do your port forward twice, once for TCP and once for UDP. However, most routers will be able to select both, either by clicking on both or by clicking on TCP/UDP. Now for device IP, that's going to be your IPv4 address, right? So over here, it's 192.168.1.123. Now you may not have a place for device IP. Instead, you may have a little drop-down box of all the devices on your router. If that's the case, go ahead and select the device that you're creating the server on. That's going to be your probably main computer, right? Select that from the device dropdown. Now at this point, I can hit save, apply, I am done. But some people need an external IP for their port forward. However, if they don't need an external IP, you need it no matter what to be able to allow your friends to join, because your external IP is your public IP address. Luckily, in the description down below, we have this. This is what's my IP. And this is what you can get from someone's IP address. Their country, their region, their city, their latitude and longitude coordinates, all from an IP address. So to be sure, very, very careful with who you give this to. Not to mention that they can do things like DDoS your internet. That's why Apex Minecraft hosting is so appealing. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and copy your IP address here. You can see 100 on mine. That's all you can see, right? You can only see the last 3 digits. That's just so you know we're using the same one in Minecraft later. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and copy that. If you need that on your port forward, come back over here, paste it in, apply, okay. And now we can go ahead and start up the server and join on in. Now, normally I would do this all live, but again, the RAM issue. So I'm going to go ahead and start the server. Open up Minecraft, and I'll see you when both the server is up and Minecraft is open. So here we are in Minecraft. Our server is open. As you can see, it says done over here. Now we click on multiplayer, click on direct connect, and instead of entering our IPv4 address, we'll enter in our public IP address, which is, as you can see, ending in 100. Now before we click join server here, I do want to mention that you may not be able to join off of your public IP address. Sometimes you will only be able to join off of your IPv4 address, while your friends will be able to join off your public IP. That's okay, because you're both joining the exact same server. So if you can't join off your public IP, don't freak out. See if your friend can, and if they can, you're all good. You just join off your IPv4. That's something to do with internet service providers. Some of them don't let you reconnect to your public IP. Luckily, mine does. So I can click join server, and it will log us right on in here into our server. As you can see on the left-hand side, Nick King joined. We are loading into game. Awesome stuff. Here we are. Boom. We are now in Minecraft. Great. So yeah, that's that. That's how you can start a modded server. We are now in the server. Your friends can join via your public IP. But what if they can't? Well, most likely there's an issue with Windows Defender, and that is something that we have a tutorial on how to fix, how to add Windows Defender, or Microsoft and Java to Windows Defender. That is linked in the description down below should you have any issues with that. It could also be an issue with another antivirus on your computer, so make sure you disable those, and then if it works with those disabled, re-enable them and add an exception to the antivirus, right? So just disable it for testing and then add an exception moving forward. And then after that, you can also check port forwarding if you're still having issues. Most likely though, if it's in port forwarding, it is a firewall on your port forward that is for whatever reason not working, assuming you followed along with the tutorial and did forward port 25565 on whatever computer you are hosting your server on. So there you have it. That is how you can start a modded server. Now, I'm sure you want to add mods to your server, and that's a pretty simple process, but it is covered in a separate video in the description down below. So also at the eye at the top of your screen, how to add mods to a Minecraft server in Minecraft 1.16.3. So go check that out. Enjoy your brand new modded server and all the awesome mods that you do add to it. My name is Nick. This has been The Breakdown. Come play with us on our server, play.breakdowncraft.com, the best Minecraft server in the multiverse. I cannot wait to see you online there, but nevertheless, again, my name is Nick, and I am out. Peace.